I am going to cast this match of StarCraft. This is a best of 5. This is our grand finals of the EPT Cup Europe. And oh my goodness, would you look at who we have here. In the lower left-hand corner of Amphion, it is Team Liquid's Clem. And who else is his opponent going to be? In the upper left, except for Sidestorm Gaming's MaxPax. Shocking stuff to see Clem versus MaxPax here in the finals of an EPT Cup. But here we are. Crazy things happening. I actually haven't gotten to cast these guys against each other in a while. I miss casting them. They're a good time. But I'm glad to finally get a Clem versus MaxPax match. As tired as I've been this whole cast, I think this match will be able to keep me going. Yeah. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully it's a banger. Definitely going to put this one on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel you're watching right now. Maybe hit the follow button on Twitch. And if you're watching on Twitch, I'll also do both of those things. That'd be cool. I'd appreciate it. If you watch me live on Twitch, you can listen to me yell about nothing. Yell about losing $60 to a predatory company. Shout out to GeoGuessr for being the worst company. Hot tip, don't subscribe to GeoGuessr. They will try to steal your money, as they did mine. Whew, Clem is being annoying here. He is going for the eBay block, but then he also used the SCV to block really the only base you can take comfortably as a third on this map. The only base that MaxPax could have taken other than this one. Then he went ahead and killed 2 probes with the Reaper. Now he's going to come back in. He wants to kill another probe. He really wants it. This eBay going to have to get canceled soon. There it goes. MaxPax finally able to take this base, but it's a good tempo move for Clem, right? This is really annoying to deal with for MaxPax, and it puts him in an awkward position. Now MaxPax is going for a Stargate opener here. He's going to try to take some of that tempo back with some Oracle harass perhaps, but it looks like the Reaper should be able to hop in and get the scout off on this, which is very good for Clem. Seeing what your opponent is up to is always a good call. I mentioned an Oracle, but actually looks like he's going straight to Phoenixes. Meanwhile, Clem on the other side of the map expanded up on the high ground. I was getting the factory and starport behind this. The Reaper will finally go down. 3 probe kills in total, though. That's pretty good. But the Zealot and Adept here going to be able to spot this CC coming down. Sees the army as well, including the Widow Mine here, which I feel like is a bit of a tell that it's probably going to be the Widow Mine drop with the 6 Marines, but Phoenix is going to be very good at dealing with that. That sounded like maybe the Zealot died. Sure did. Phoenix is showing themselves here, I feel like, is a bit unfortunate for MaxPax, because if that medevac tried to boost across and the Phoenixes caught it, that could have been really, really nice, but... Oh, speaking of which, there you go. Tries to boost in, and the Phoenix is just going to be able to catch this medevac. Going to lift up one of the Marines as well. The Cyclone will push these away. Plus, there are a few more Marines back here. But the medevac and a Marine, I mean, that's a good catch for MaxPax for not losing anything. These Phoenixes already off to a good rockin' start in this game. And with the Robo after this, I imagine it's going to be into Colossi off the back of the Phoenixes. They're just going to come in and keep trying to get damage done. Clem does have a lot of anti-air, though. Marines, Cyclones, and a Viking, even, to help out against this. And it looks like he wants to put some pressure on and maybe just delay a third base here for MaxPax. Because MaxPax does not have the kind of army that can deal with this right now. He has Phoenixes, and he's got the 2 Adepts. 5 Phoenixes and 2 Adepts. The Immortal is being chrono boosted out right now, but it is not here yet. This could be a problem. Phoenixes are on the other side of the map. MaxPax doesn't really have anything back at home. Well, shield battery is going to help out, though, and that's going to buy time for the Immortal to finish up. 4 SCVs went down, and then the Phoenixes came home to help out in this fight. Oh, he wanted that Widow Mine. Doesn't quite get it. Well, some pressure here from Clem, but doesn't commit to it, so it doesn't end up losing anything or gaining anything. I don't know, I feel like he just lost something else. Oh yeah, the Viking went down. I mean, overall, these trades have been very good for MaxPax, but I will say his third's quite a bit later than you'd normally expect in this matchup. It's really just now started up. An interesting third to take. I mean, he kind of has 2 options, right? This one, he's just got to mine through these minerals. Colossus on the way out now for MaxPax, as expected. Did have to get some Immortals out first, but now working on the Colossi. As Clem moves out with 2 separate groups of units. And this is kind of cheeky here. You might be able to catch somebody off guard. MaxPax is coming over to check on this. I don't know if he spotted that, though. His Adept is definitely going to spot some of this. And at the same time, this little group is making itself known. MaxPax sees both armies. Now he's got to figure out where to keep those armies. Personally, I keep my armies in my sleeveys. But I don't know about MaxPax. I don't know if he has sleeveys. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's shirtless. Shirtless MaxPax. I'm just imagining MaxPax is actually this, like, jacked dude. Could be. Apparently he likes running, being outdoors, lifting. MaxPax would be a jacked dude. You wouldn't know. The jacked Danish. Phoenix count is getting pretty up there. 8 Phoenixes is nothing to sneeze at. Really good support for these Colossi. Did he get Thermal Lance? He has not even started Thermal Lance. I feel like is a problem for MaxPax. He just clicked on this. Okay, there he goes. Thermal Lance is very important here. He is focusing on getting units out right now, which I get. But Thermal Lance is really good. And it takes a while, too. It's a pretty long upgrade, so got to be getting that. Oh, Phoenix is coming in here again. 8 Phoenixes, pretty substantial. Oh no, there's no missile turret down here. Marine's coming back now. Stimming forward. That was a double stim out of Clem. Uncharacteristic. But he really wanted to chase those Phoenixes away. MaxPax's going to take the middle base as his 4th. Couple Widow Mines out here for Clem, spotting that is not being taken. But, yeah, would not expect him to take this base. This is a bold base, straight towards his opponent. Does have some gold minerals at this one. Oh, Clem going to take these rocks down. Wouldn't hate to see him mine this out, although that might make Zealot run-bys very easy. Yeah, he's going to scout this. Doesn't see the base, but I feel like if you see this, you got to know there's a base here. We have a first little engagement here. Viking count up to 5. That's not quite enough to take on these Phoenixes, but a big EMP on those Phoenixes. Oh my god, they all are out of shields and out of energy. Colossi trying to dive forward. This shield battery's out of juice as well. These EMPs have been huge. And I don't think MaxPax can hold on to this base right now. That is a dead Colossus. The Vikings are kiting backwards. Super shield battery turns on, but the battery gets targeted down. Clem is feeling real good here. He is up a lot of supply, and as he takes out the 4th base, there is a little Zealot run by, but it's getting handled. A couple SCVs going down, but this is much more substantial damage right now for Clem. Taking out an entire base, 7 probes, and I think taking down a lot of this important army as well. Clem is up 30 army supply after this fight. Maybe running up the ramp into 2 Colossi with a shield battery defending them is not the way, but however, the Prism gets into the main base. 11 SCVs going down to 11 probes going down. The Bio's getting chased backwards. There's no Phoenixes to really clean this up, but that is a lot of Vikings. 11 Vikings out right now for Clem. That will make short work of these Colossi, and they can land and help in the ground fight afterwards. MaxPax is going to go ahead and take the other base over here, but wouldn't mind. I think each one of these just killed a probe. That's damage MaxPax can't really afford right now. There's a 4th base almost done for Clem, and Clem's ahead a couple workers. Like, this is a really good position for Clem, but I do think he needs to keep the pressure on and get more damage done, because otherwise MaxPax is just going to macro back up, and he won't be that far behind by the time they hit maxed. Disruptor's also on the way out. We did see Clem eat some big Disruptor Novas earlier in his game against, when he's playing Gerald or Skillis. I don't remember. But in one of those matches, Clem was eating some big Disruptor Novas. I think it was against Gerald. We do have a lot of SCVs going down here to a Zealot run by getting into the 3rd base. Oh, and there's a fight happening at the same time. Colossi getting pushed away by the Vikings. The Bio needs to run backwards. I feel like this fight is going really well for Clem as more EMPs hit. Killed a few probes, but the real damage here is going to be the 17, 18 SCVs that are going down. Planetary's almost done up here that can protect them, but 3rd base feeling a bit exposed. These units near each other, but not killing each other. Clem's going to pull back. Clem only 20 supply up now, though. He was definitely higher up in supply earlier on. He does have 2-2 on the way, though. That will give him a big buff once he hits that. It's only about halfway done, and the engagement is happening right now. Ooh, 2 ghosts going down to that Disruptor Nova. But here are some great splits out of Clem. This is what we were missing earlier in that match against Gerald. And my god, this Bio is just mincing up these gateway units. Without the Colossi to be a threat, the Stalkers just cannot last against this. And there's the GG as Clem does push through with that superior army. Not even having to wait for 2-2, just powering through. Great dodges on the Disruptor Novas. Not enough Disruptors there to keep him at bay. And again, with the Colossi gone, there's no splash damage. And not enough gateway units to stand up to that on their own. All right, game number 2 is going to be on Golden Aura. We have our players in here. Whew. I'm a little sleepy. I apologize for any sleepiness in this cast. I didn't get much sleep last night. Woke up early to cast the EPT Cup Asia. And then decided to stay up to cast this one. Tired. I do feel like it's cooler in here than it was earlier, though. I think the AC being pointed at me is really helping. Shout out to air conditioning. Can we get a shout out for air conditioning? So we hop in to game number 2. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we've got Team Liquid's Clem up 1-0 in this grand finals against his opponent in the lower right. For Sidestorm Gaming, it's MaxPax. MaxPax going to go for the Reaper wall here. Doesn't look like Clem's doing any proxying or anything like that. Seems a bit normal to me. Clem last game went for the engineering bay block. But on this map, I think it's a little less strong. There's 2 potential bases for MaxPax to take. And I think either one is like, it's okay. It's decent to take as a second base. This one would not be super great, now that I'm saying that. But again, decent. Workable, maybe. MaxPax's probe did take kind of a weird path, I feel like, though. Does it usually go down this way? For some reason, I thought it would go up this way, but I guess not. Ooh, that probe is real low. Sneaks out of there. And that CC going to start up for Clem. Nexus is, of course, on the way for MaxPax. All things normal, as expected. As mostly expected, I should say. I wouldn't be really too surprised by either of these players trying to do a cheeky proxy or something like that. Shout out air conditioning, dude. Yeah, it's incredibly necessary in the summer. Doesn't usually get too hot in Seattle, but like because nowhere here is built for the heat, people underestimate what that can mean. Like a place not being built to deal with heat. If it's 80 outside, my apartment is 90. And that's a problem. It's a problem. Places that are built for the heat, if it's 80 outside, it'll be like 70 or well, not 70. It'll be like 75 inside. You know, they can have good breezes, good airflow. I don't know how they got away with it here. This building has absolutely zero airflow, and it's so annoying. Like, just build some airflow into your building, dude. What are we doing? So frustrating. Speaking of frustrating, we have a Reaper being frustrating on this side of the map, and MaxPax on the other side of the map being frustrating as well, with some Adepts. There's a couple of workers going down on either side. Oh my god, that was the probe from earlier. Whoa, and down it goes. Not to mention the scout on the Robo. Oh, that probe got the just barely close enough to get the zap. Crazy. Helling gonna dive in. I think just wants to check if there's a third base, which there's not just yet, but there's a probe there that wants to put a third base down. There he goes. His blink is almost done. The Robo is almost done here for MaxPax. Oh, Adept gonna shade into the main. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, a drop. Wouldn't mind gonna burrow. Probe's getting pulled away. Ooh, that mine has to be a little careful. Nice micro from Clem. God damn. Blink is done. That is a nice blink. The medevac is gonna stay alive. No, it dies because it turned around for a second there. Probe's getting targeted down by the Marines. They'll grab one or two more. Oh, this Widowmine. Did this Widowmine just walk in and get a kill? That's crazy, actually. I love when things do that. They just walk in the front door and get a kill. It's the last place you'd expect to look. The closer we are to danger, the further we are from harm. That was the Widowmine's motto there. And MaxPax going again into the Robo Bay off the back of Blink this time. See if the Stalkers can get any work done over here. Not likely to get too much done, but picking off Marines at the front and stuff like that is always very good, especially if Clem tries to move out. Move out without stim Midovex. Always a dicey proposition. What do we got down here? A little Raven harassment. Drops a cheeky auto turret. Gets a kill. Now he's going to sit in the corner. Taking advantage of the fact that there is not Phoenixes on this map. It's the downfall of going Stalkers Colossus instead of Phoenix Colossus. Stalkers, quite good. Much stronger units than the Phoenixes. More utility, but can't shoot stuff in the corner. Thermal Lens started up a lot earlier in this game than last game. That Thermal Lens didn't start last game until the third Colossus was on the way. Not that it ended up mattering too much, but... Ooh, some Stalkers pathing the wrong way there for MaxPax. He split them up and then they ended up turning around and just going through the Terran side of things. A couple Stalkers going down for free. Clem on his way across the map. Does have one siege tank with this. I feel like there was a second tank, but I guess it got left back at home. Yeah, chilling in the main base. A couple more Stalkers getting caught here. Not quite. The Colossi come out. Thermal Lance is close to being done, but it's not quite there yet. Clem's going to keep on pushing. I might head on home for now. Looks like the Stalkers got a couple of SCV kills, but they will get taken out for it. At least a couple of them will get taken out for it. Clem taking a big supply lead, man. Doesn't feel like he's killed that much this game. And the trades have been really close, but killed enough probes to, I don't know. He killed 2 Zealots, 3 Depths, 4 Stalkers. Beautiful stuff. You come in, force to cancel on the 4th base at the same time. Triple auto turret hitting the natural, getting 4 probe kills. Feels like Clem is just in such a commanding position. MaxPax has closed the arm supply gap a little bit. He's trying to hit on the backside with some of these gateway units, but they're a little late to the party, and there are so many Widow Mines. Oh my god, they're just blasting everything. The entire back line just does nothing. And that means Clem can focus on the push to the front. The Colossi stay alive, but nothing else seems to. Clem all of a sudden a 50 supply. Even with a warp in, MaxPax is way down in supply right now. Clem, again, keeping this base from going up. Keeping it 3 base to 3 is very good for him. I'm going to just turn around and go pretty much all the way home, which is a little surprising to me. MaxPax does have a run-by setup, which is being scouted by this Marine. He's also got a Warp Prison to the bottom side, which I feel like is going to be where the real damage is at. As those Zealots on the top side are just getting recalled. Nice recall there for MaxPax. He decides not to go in. I feel like Clem is... Either he spotted that prism with the gas, or he's just got the sickest star sense of all time. I feel like the gas saw the prism. Clem's going to be able to take his 4th base very soon. MaxPax is nearly done as well. Clem's coming back in. He is almost maxed. And MaxPax, he's gonna pull back up to the high ground. He does not trust his ability to hold this base. That's a bit of a problem. And he's gonna be forced to cancel it. It is gonna be 3 base to 4 here soon. That being said, the Zealots, I don't know where these ones came from, but they managed to make their way into the 3rd base. The Prism came back. And Clem is gonna run home to deal with this as 4 SCVs are going down. The Widowmine, oh my god, very nearly killed this Vorp Prism. SCV is getting pulled to deal with the Zealots. Don't know what happened there. Something got canceled. MaxPax up to 4 Colossi, damn. You don't see 4 Colossi very often. I like 4 Colossi. That used to be the number. And now I feel like it's always 3. And it never quite feels like enough to me. Oh my god, these auto turrets. Seven more probes going down. The Raven just going to go hang out in the corner again. And at the same time, Clem is pushing the front. Scan is going to reveal that, though. Some ghosts going down on the front line. The one tank here helping to zone. You see some EMPs. Nice EMP on the front lines. Actually, a second tank here. Excuse me. So many Marauders, too. Oh, my God. 27 Marauders to 37 Marines. Zealots coming in for the flank. Bi unit's going to split off to deal with that. Yeah, that's a good defense. Another dodge disruption over right now. Super shield battery is turned on. Can it get targeted down by Clem, or does he just not care? He's just going to win this fight anyways. While that's running, it is over now. The base goes down. MaxPax is in a lot of trouble. Clem is just clobbering this army. The Disruptor Nova goes out, gets a couple of kills, but it's not enough. GG. Clem goes up 2-0 in this best of 5, looking extremely strong. And now I feel like it's time for MaxPax to turn on the 3-gate blink. Whew. I keep moving. Keep moving to stay awake. These games are very entertaining, which is helping a lot. But my brain is still... It's rattling around in there with all the caffeine and sugar that I intook. It's rattling around in there, but I'm still so tired. You guys know that one? Doesn't happen to me very often. Usually the energy drinks do what they're supposed to. I also had, some nice food before I started this. Which usually helps quite a bit too. But I don't know, maybe something about the combination of the coffee I had earlier and the energy drink and being as tired as I am. My brain's cooked. It's cooked right now. It's like scrambled eggs. You remember that thing that was like, this is your brain and this is your brain on drugs? My brain feels like the brain on drugs one right now. Maybe a little better. I don't know. But that's kind of what it feels like. Like over-seasoned. That's what it is right now. My brain is the eggs, but on drugs, but like way over-seasoned too. I don't know how that makes sense, but like that feels right to me. I hope your guys' brains aren't over-seasoned. Be careful with the paprika. Sometimes, you just dump too much in there. It'll be rough. It'll be rough. We're on game number 3. We're on Oceanborn. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner, we have Team Liquid's Clem. Looking good, looking strong. He is up 2-0 in this best of 5. He's on match point. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner needs to win a game for this series to continue on. It is System Gaming's MaxPax. And I always wonder, is it bad to be a biased caster, but not because you like one player better than the other, or you think like a player deserves it more than the other, but because you want the series to end sooner because you are sleepy and tired and rambling and not being a very good commentator? Do you just want it to end so that people don't have to listen to too much more of this? Because I don't think I've said anything particularly useful this entire broadcast, but certainly not this series. So, I hope you guys enjoy listening to me say absolutely nothing for, 30 minutes to an hour. for this best of 5. Sometimes I literally do just stop speaking also. And that's my brain being like, I don't know, got nothing. Sometimes brain just empty. You guys ever have empty brain? Not like good empty brain, bad empty brain. You want to have a thought, but you just don't. Sometimes I don't want to have a thought. And then it's really nice to not have a thought. Big fan of not having thoughts when I want to not have them. You see what I'm saying? The words coming out of my mouth mean nothing to me right now. It's an exhilarating experience. I don't think I've been this sleep deprived in a while. Bunker going down here for Clem. He's afraid of what MaxPax is going to throw at him. We do see the Twilight Council going down. This could be the time where MaxPax finally commits to some Blink Stalker aggression. Something he's extremely good at, and he's beaten Clem with plenty of times. There have been some of these series that was like 3-0 for MaxPax, and he just Blink Stalkered the crap out of Clem. And it was like, oh, Clem can't handle that right now. How does he do that so well that Clem can't handle it? Oh, that Adept shade away right at the least perfect time for the Adept to shade away. Does look like we have another Widowmine drop coming out of Clem. Ooh, good catch there from the probes. Catching Clem's Reaper. Well, losing the Reaper is a painful start for Clem. I'm seeing another gateway. It's a third gateway and a robo coming down here for MaxPax. Are we going to actually see Blink Stalker aggression? I think we might. We might see it. I would love to see MaxPax do it. It's his bread and butter. Hey, thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. I'm glad somebody's out there. Well, I was going to say I'm glad somebody's out there listening to me. I'm glad somebody's out there enjoying the words I'm saying. I think probably it'd be better for the world if nobody was listening to me. At least right now. But, you know, what's a little nonsense amongst friends? Oh no, MaxPax not going to get too aggressive. Is going to take the third base. But, I mean, he's got the Prism on the way. He's going to put some pressure on. Whoa, but the Hellion scouts at third base, which is really, really nice for Clem. He's going to put down a second bunker, though. So he sees the third base, and then immediately puts down a second bunker. Same time that this Widowmine drop looks like it's not getting too much done here. Didn't see how many kills that mine had, but I'm assuming it was like a probe. Maybe. And here's the Prism on the other side of the map. You're going to be able to blink in with these Stalkers. Double tank here, though. A bit dangerous for MaxPax to be playing with. Stim is going to go down, though. It's very painful for Clem. He's going to have to start it up on the other tech lab. Does have the bunker down here on the low ground. The other tank, which is not quite sieged up yet. That is an empty bunker. Marines diving forward. Probes are going down on the other side of the map. Looks like to an auto turret harass. Good stuff. Damn, even Fractal's being nice to me. I must be really cooked. Brain's so fried, even Fractal doesn't want to be rude to him. Ah, no, dude. I can't be mean to him right now. Not when he's this far gone. I get it. Get what you're saying. Well, the single SCV repair not going to be enough for that bunker. MaxPax doing a great job keeping the pressure on right now, and of course he does have this base up, so he's just up workers. He's in better mining position. Well, he's going to blink forward. He's going to get on top of the siege tank, use some fancy prism micro to keep these stalkers alive against the Marines, take down every single Marine that's down here. Stim is not done. Combat shield is not done. +1 is not done. Clem's army is struggling to deal with this, despite the fact that he does have more army supply. This is still a bit of a struggle. Auto turrets really helping to keep Clem in this. They get another kill. Few stalkers hitting the main base. The tank is no longer here, so that's going to be a few dead SCVs. I think it just lift up and get out of there. There are 2 Vikings on the way, though, so MaxPax is going to need to recall sooner than that. Otherwise, he will lose all this. Yeah, he gets the recall. Ah, brutal for Clem. Vikings pop out and they're like, I heard there was a prism. Oh yeah, it's over in the corner. Like, there's no prism there, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. I swear it was just there. It's like when you complain about something not working and then the other person walks in and it works just fine. You're like, I swear to God it wasn't working a second ago. They're like, oh yeah, huh? Does look like Clem's going to try to go for a bit of a counter push here. I think we're just on gateway units for MaxPax, so no splash damage this game, at least for now. Oh, as I say that, the first Colossus starts up. First Colossus. But Zealot's getting into this third base. That needs to come back and deal with that. So any pressure he wanted to do is gone. At least delayed. Stalker's looking to delay even further. As more Zealots try to run in. Force to cancel on the 4th base. That's really, really nice. It's already great damage for them. Which is good, because that's about all they'll get. Zealot's just trying to come in everywhere. We're starting to get into late game stuff here. Thermal Lens and Colossus finish up, but we already have a Dark Shrine on the way for MaxPax. Be very strong units if Clem is not fully ready for it and not fully prepped for having to scan all the time. Ooh, that is a dead War Prism. Good setup here for Clem. Whew. Keeping the focus. Keeping the focus. It's difficult, but we got it. Stalkers grab a siege tank before any of them go down. MaxPax trying to come in here. Some good EMPs. Disruptor Nova is going to send Clem back, but it looks like a Colossus went down based on that skeleton. Oh my God, the force field just across the board here. Gonna delay Clem. Some Zealots try to run in, but they do get pushed back. MaxPax taking a 5th base in the meantime. More disruptors coming out as MaxPax moves his way through the middle of this map. Clem does have units on both sides. MaxPax needs to be a little careful here. He's going to lose a Colossus for not much. Disruptor Nova goes out and does send him back. And it looks like these guys killed the Zealot run by that was trying to come in here. Get a double drop heading out for Clem. MaxPax is thinking about pushing in further. Oh my god, more auto turret harass. Raven on 7 kills and a lot of lost mining time. Make it 8. I feel like these little engagements are going much better for Clem. Every time they have just like a little skirmish, it feels like Clem is killing important stuff and losing like maybe a ghost, but probably just a marine or a marauder, right? Like it doesn't feel like he's lost much at all. Yeah, look at that. 23 marines over a 13-minute game. That is kind of nothing. And we see the trades. 3k resources better here for Clem. Oh, and this is awkward here. MaxPax just gonna have to straight up cancel that base, but we got big DTs gonna blink in. Ooh, you're gonna take this down. Repair not quite in time, and at the same time, Zealot's getting into the natural. This is where things get really dicey, but we've got the double drop down here at the 5th base. That does look like it's gonna get cleaned up, but Clem is trying to come in and kill this army. So while DTs kill the 4th, Zealots wreck the natural. The drop is handled, but the army of MaxPax is getting pounced on right now. And I think the army and this 5th base are both going to go down. He tries to recall. He is going to get, I think, 2 Stalkers out of there. I don't even know where they went. Yeah, a Stalker, a Zealot, and maybe this Disruptor. Part of me thinks that Disruptor just came out of the Robo. Speaking of which, though, there are 7 Disruptors here, which is very important as this game turns into something closely resembling, not a base trade, but like, it's a scrappy game. It is now a scrappy game. Clem loses his 4th. He kills the 5th. He's losing a lot of SCVs, but he does still have a decent amount of mining. Scan is going to take all 3 of those DTs out, so that's a good scan right there. EMP to kill that DT. Oh, these disruptors are the real danger for Clem. Again, he had some issues splitting against them earlier, but so far in this series, he's done a fantastic job. God, more Zealots and DTs come in here. It's just so difficult for Clem to constantly deal with while he's trying to fight this army. And as I say that, the planetary goes down. He is not in position to defend that base. MaxPax comes in, knocks him back down to 3 bases, but not only that, knocks him down to 36 workers. And it looked like a good game for Clem for a lot of this, but he just hasn't been able to deal with these Zealot and DT run-bys. And then we have another one going to force a cancel on what was an attempted 4th base once again. Does all get cleaned up. MaxPax, though, diving into this, forcing Clem to engage with these Disruptor Novas. There are so many Novas. I think he's out for now. As I say that, 2 more show up, though. My god, the Disruptor count was huge there for a second. I think he had 9 or 10. A couple went down. There is a triple drop or even a quadruple drop over here. That's going to be able to kill this attempted 5th base and a few probes, but it is 23 probes to 62, or sorry, 24 SCVs to 64 probes right now. So even though MaxPax doesn't have a ton of bases to send these probes to, he is mining so much more than Clem is at the moment. Clem knows it. He's going to put the pressure on. He's got the bigger army. He's taking a great fight over here, just kiting Zealots for days. And at the same time, he's moving over to the left-hand side where the Disruptors are coming over on their own, all 9 of them. Take the Liberator's going to go around back. Clem is going to keep the pressure on, the double pressure here. He's so medevac heavy, though. A lot of this extra supply he has is just it's 24 supply in medevacs. They're really good, but damn, that's a lot of medevacs. Disruptor Nova's coming back down, trying to get some kills. Ooh, there they go, getting some connections. At the same time, the drop in here is going to get cleaned up, it looks like, as the Stalkers took down the medevacs. And Clem is going to be forced to tap out as he is just running out of steam. Doesn't have the money back at home thanks to all those run bys. GG gets called. MaxPax putting a point on the board, taking us to a game 4. Gonna struggle with it. Game 4 is gonna be a struggle. Now I need some more water too. I'm gonna grab some water once we get into this lobby. MaxPax needs just a minute. Getting details for my hike tomorrow set. Make sure we're good. Oh, these breaks. These breaks are killing me. We were so close to the 3-0, Clem. Why couldn't you do it? Why couldn't you close it out? All right, MaxPax is back, but now Clem is gone. Just trying to keep the energy. Got to keep the energy. Got to keep it moving. Standing is really helping right now. I'm pretty sure if I was casting while sitting, I would just be asleep in my chair. You'd be like, why did he stop? Why did he stop talking? Why did the camera stop moving? The game's over. Why is he still sitting in game? Because I was asleep. It would turn into a sleep stream where I was just sitting in the game after it ended. You see how long I could sleep in my chair. That could be good content right there, you know? How long until he notices? It'd probably be a while. Probably be a minute. Let's see if we get a game 5, or if the players are nice to me. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of site, Delta, pulling it back, making sure he doesn't go out 3-0. It is Sidestream Gaming's MaxPax. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner, representing Team Liquid, it is Clem. Was moments away from closing it out, but wasn't quite able to. Unfortunately for me, but fortunately for the rest of you. Thank you, Senju, for double checking. I did go get water. It is important to water your streamer. If you do not water your streamer, he will not grow. You must water your streamer so he can grow. He will not grow if you do not give him water. That is a Jenna Marbles reference in 2024. Missed that Jenna Marbles content. Those are good YouTube videos. Nobody can tell me otherwise. MaxPax being annoying with the probe, as you do, blocking that base for as long as he can. So far, Clem's opened up, I think, with like a Widow Mine or Marine drop in every single game, right? And then he's had like Raven harass as well. He's been pretty consistent focusing on the harassment in these matchups instead of going for like a big 2-base push or something like that. MaxPax has changed it up a little bit. We saw Phoenixes in game 1. Was it Blink the last 2 games? I believe it was. Looks like it's going to be Blink again. This time, though, chrono boosting it. This kind of makes me think he is going to get aggressive on this map. Because right now, he's just kind of poking and prodding with the Adepts. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I think MaxPax is gonna get aggressive this time. I said it last game. He did get a little aggressive last game, right? And got a little bit of he got a decent amount of damage done to Clem last game while taking a 3rd base. So I guess I was kind of right, but I'm expecting him to get aggressive this game. Maybe even more so. Maybe not going for the 3rd with it, and just committing a little harder to the aggression. Speaking of aggression, though, Clem moving out. He tried to do this in game 1, but didn't end up committing super hard. He's going to dive in here now. Blink is done, and the Warp Prism is out. But Clem is going for it anyways, even with a double blink potential here. The lack of the shield battery is so painful for MaxPax. Stalker starting to fall, probes running into Marines as the Stalkers are trying to pick them off. 9 probes go down. Oh my god, that Marine blocking for this medevac so it can escape. But MaxPax is going to go for the counter damage now. He has taken a lot of damage. Clem is going to keep on dropping. A Dark Shrine goes down for MaxPax as Clem is going to try to defend. He's got a bunker on the way. Already has a siege tank and more Marines coming out. I think he just needs to build units back at home. If he can get some more damage done here, that would be huge. Also, scouting this Dark Shrine would be huge, but I don't think he's going to, as the probes push him away and more Stalkers show up. Speaking of Stalkers, these ones are going to force a cancel on the bunker. Oh my god, the tank unsieged. Oh, but there's a second tank. Second tank will cover the first tank. Another Stalker goes down here as the drop continues to threaten. But the Dark Shrine has not been scouted. Oh, there's a Raven though. Clem's got a Raven. There's a Warp Prism. Gonna sneak 4 Stalkers into the main base. Siege tank coming out at a really nice time. Are we gonna see MaxPax die for this Raven? Oh, he could. He could. He's not gonna. He's not gonna. I think that's smart. Prism does get chased away. Dark Shrine is done. We could see a couple of DTs warped in and sent in here. Well, MaxPax might just take his 3rd and call it good. my god, is he going to get Stim again? He got Stim earlier on. Yeah, the Mule drops for Clem, but not going to save it. It's so painful. When will Terrans learn to build their production over here? You'd think. I remember they even made Stim take less time just so that this would happen less. MaxPax going to dive in here, but eats a big tank shot. Going to have to leave pretty quickly. I can't believe this drop is still going. This Cyclone has 4 kills and 4 hit points. When will it end? Will it ever end? Oh, a big double drop for Clem. That's a bold move. He's not going to have Stim because it got canceled earlier, but... Oh, he flies back in. He decides to go back. So it looks like this drop... I was going to say he's finally cleaned up. The Cyclone dies, but there's still 2 Marines in this medevac. Jeez. Clem's army is looking very strong. He's up 30 army supply. There's an Immortal on the way for MaxPax, but I mean, other than that, doesn't really have much. Take a look at the units. 15 Stalkers and 3 Zealots. Zealots have charge. He's warping in a few more now, but it still feels kind of paltry compared to Clem's army, which is looking quite strong. A lot of bio here. He's leaving a lot of Marines in the main base, though. He is really worried about the Warp Prism getting in. A lot of Widow Mines here, as well as these 3 siege tanks. The Raven is around too, so any DTs that get warped in, which there are a few out on the map. It doesn't look like they're going to get much done here, at least for now. That turret does not give range to the ramp, though. Or vision to the ramp, rather. Oh, and it looks like the Raven got sniped by MaxPax's Stalkers. Oh my god, that War Prism. If Clem was on A move, that would have been a dead War Prism. A couple SCVs going down as the third base is forced to evacuate. Oh, he doesn't have a scan? Okay, he does have a scan. He's going to take it down. MaxPax wants to keep the pressure on. I don't know if I like this, though. He's going to jump on 1 siege tank. The other 2 get up. 1 tank stays alive. Widowmine's getting some good hits. Has a lot of army that just went down there for MaxPax. I feel like that might have been an overcommittal. DTs were getting good damage done. Clem doesn't want to move too far out here either. I think he's got some reinforcements showing up, though. Maybe he does want to move out here either. Oh, no, that medevac with 2 Marines in it. That drop from earlier on, it came back just to die. I guess it tanked some Stalker shots. That's pretty good. Immortal's going to go down. Is there any splash damage for MaxPax? There's a Colossus on the way, but he doesn't have any out just yet. The DT. Zealot's going to run to this third base. Yeah, looks like the bio will clean this up. USC's going down, though. Had 1 Zealot in a mineral line with a tank nearby. That's a menace. That tank is a menace. We've got a new prism, as I believe the old one died. Heading towards the main base where there is no defense. There were a bunch of Marines here earlier, but not anymore. No turrets either. Now, this is a big problem for Clem, as he is out in the middle of the map, and he does not have much back at home to deal with this. Zealots dropping in. Oh, could start working on the missile turret there. Clem's pushing on the other side of the map. Some Widow Mines going down. Apoptosis, thank you so much for the 36-month resubscription. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a hero. What a superhero. Clem continuing to push forward. He still has a big army, but there are 2 Colossi here now. MaxPax is trying to buy time for Thermal Lance. It looks like Clem has stabilized back at home, but he's down 20 workers. So that, even stabilizing, he's not in a great position. And target down 1 Colossus. He gets the 1 Colossus, but the Zealot's coming in from the backside. The tank is going to go down, and there's not enough bio left to keep standing and fighting. Clem will leave, but he's up 35 army supply right now. His +1 armor is about to finish, and even with Thermal Lance, MaxPax is just on 1 Colossus. Okay, 2nd Colossus is about to pop. Clem going to try to take this fourth base, and he's going to be denied the landing because the DT. Whoop, nope, never mind. The DT left to get scanned and killed. RIP. Whoa, we got a Warp Prism in the main base, though. Warping in a bunch of Zellies. Where are the Marines? It's like 2 hits. Oh, my God. Stays alive, gets the Warp in. The Viking resting on its laurels, sleeping on the job. Will take it down. Same time, run by into the third base. 6 SCVs going down. This is not a planetary yet. And MaxPax is hitting it. He's going to force the cancel on the planetary. The lift up. The SCV is trying to repair it. Some fancy lift and land micro as the bio shows back up. Turned into a nice fight for Clem, but he lost 16 SCVs during all of that and was forced to cancel his planetary. I cannot believe he kept that alive with the repair. That is crazy close. MaxPax pulls back home. He's got his 5th base on the way. Clem's in a bit of a tough spot. He's got a big army still, but his economy is still very low. His 4th base is now up and running, but he does have to save scans, at least a few, so he can't just be dropping mules willy-nilly. He's got Ghost now, so he can EMP DTs as well, but... yeah, it's a nice bunker positioning here for Clem. Clem's moving forward. I don't think MaxPax has spotted this yet, that Clem is just here. Clem dives right in, EMPs the crap out of this army. Viking count is not super huge, but it is big enough to put continuous damage onto these Colossi. Damage is getting split by them, but we've got some more units from the top side for Clem. Does he have enough to keep this pressure on? It looks like he's going to have to just kite backwards. MaxPax keeps this base alive. Supplies are dead even right now. But economically, MaxPax is still ahead. He's been mining more the last 5 minutes. But again, the army for Clem is still quite strong. MaxPax warps in a bunch of Zealots and DTs in the main base. Oh my God, he's splitting up the DTs. Clem needs to deal with this really quickly because there's also a push coming across the map, which I think he knows about. We're going to finish off all 3 DTs with some excellent EMPing and scanning. Oh, wait, he didn't actually kill the DTs. Oh, this is nice for MaxPax. One of them escapes. Does look like Clem wants to move across the map a little bit. The army supply is evened up considerably. DT goes down to the Widow Mine. It's funny when a cloaked unit kills another cloaked unit. Disruptor count is really getting up there. 5 Ruptors already out. 2 at a time being made right now for MaxPax. We've seen what a menace they can be. Sometimes. Sometimes Clem dodges every shot and targets down every single one that's trying to shoot at him. And sometimes it just kind of keeps him back, keeps him splitting. They can be really strong in the right hands. MaxPax is about to finish 3-3. This is pretty huge. He's going to be 2 full upgrades up over Clem, who's just now trying to start 3-3. Doesn't have enough money for armor just yet. MaxPax is deciding to dive in as his 3-3 is finishing up, but he is running into a concave. Oh my God. Oh, he's running into a full 360-degree surround here from Clem. Clem on all sides. Can he actually close this off? Can he split enough against the Disruptor Novas? Oh my God, he's killing all the Robo units. Disruptor Nova comes back. It's not enough to stop Clem's onslaught. That was such an insanely good engagement from Clem, and he is going to continue pushing forward now that the splash damage is pretty much completely gone from MaxPax's army. No, Clem, he turns around. Oh, man. He's in such a good spot right now. He's up 50 army supply. And he's got this fresh base down here. I don't know, I'm getting worried for MaxPax. Nova's coming out. Not getting the connections they're looking for. That one killed a Marauder. But Clem's going to dive in here. Super Shield Battery turn on. If EMP is going off, though, and that's going to take off too many shields for this battery to heal. The battery only heals one unit at a time. Imagine if it could just heal all the units at once. Just healed in like a radius. It'd be crazy. EMP on the Nexus. He's going to target down the Nexus. Clem going for his best Bolt impression. He just takes the base down. Doesn't want to stick around too long and fight it out. DT's coming in here, but some landed Vikings will take care of them. Got a little double drop down here on the bottom side, doing some damage to MaxPax as well. So he's going to try to hit the main base as Clem dives forward on one of the disruptors, takes it out, and I mean, I think this fight is going to go to Clem, so MaxPax, he's got another Colossus showing up, he's got more Zealot reinforcements coming in, that should be enough to push this back. The double drop in the main base still causing some issues. I say double drop, at this point it is a single drop. So Warping and Zealots will be good enough against it. Clem is almost even on those upgrades. Remember, he's been doing most of this down 2 upgrades, but his +3 attack is finally done. His +3 armor is close. Was a little delayed. Looks like Clem's going to be able to take another base here. A good last-second split. He's going to try to target down the Disruptor. He gets it. Another drop coming in down here. I feel like this drop was poised up for a while at that 5th base, but... And a few more probes as Clem micros on the other side of the map. Clem's still holding strong with the army supply lead. I feel like he's had that army supply lead for a long time. The worker count has remained pretty consistent for both players, despite Clem killing a lot of workers. Not a lot of Vikings here, so the 3 Colossi are a danger. 1 Colossus does go down, but then Clem has to pull back. I talked about his army supply being up, but all of a sudden it is dead even. As more Colossi are coming out. Gateway units as well, heading towards other bases. Or maybe coming in for the surround here. Widowmine goes off on just a single Zealot. MaxPax trying to dive forward. Can he actually crack Clem right here? It's starting to look pretty good. Oh, the Vikings are popping out, though. They are going to take down 1 Colossus. The second one escapes, but just kind of pulls back a little bit. SCV's coming off the line. Are they going to have to fight? The worker count of Clem has not been great for most of this game. He's been fighting with a lesser economy, but usually a bigger army. But now, I mean, he kills the last Colossus, killing these Stalkers. The army supply is again in Clem's favor. But a lot of that is in production. A lot of it is not here right now. As he steps backwards, he's taking a good trade against the Zealots, though. Overall, the trades have been very good for Clem, which is what is making up for the fact that he's been mining so much less this entire game. More Zealots dropping out. There's another Colossus here. Are there any more Vikings left? Just the 1 Viking. MaxPax going up to 80 workers as he is taking almost every single base on his side of the map right now. Clem having a tough time defending, let alone putting on pressure on the other side of the map. He is still taking great fights, though. Going to take down the Prism, trim off some units on the backside. Speaking of a prism, though, there's another one here for MaxPax. It's going to warp in a bunch of these LEs in the main base, as well as some DTs. Scan goes down. That should be enough to take all of this out. Viking will take out that prism as well. God, it's such a scrappy game. I mean, I say scrappy, but like, they both have so many bases. Feels scrappier than it should. I like that MaxPax keeps rebuilding these Colossi because the Viking count is just like keeps getting it reset. So it's forcing Clem to build new Vikings. It's not what he wants to build right now. Viking count again dwindling here. Whoa, these Marauders starting to step forward. Can they get in on top of the Colossi? One does go down. The other one's getting targeted. Down goes a second one. The third one gets picked up in the Prism. But safe is not necessarily what MaxPax needs right now. And all of a sudden, we have a supply lead for Clem after being even for so long. Takes a bit of a supply lead here. 69 to 80 workers. Income has evened up quite a bit. And again, those trades have been pretty damn good for Clem. He's 10,000 resources ahead in the trades. No planetary here is painful. But there's enough bio to clean this up. Same time, speaking of bio, these probes in some trouble. Some probes going down, but also this base is going to get taken out. Clem also pushing into the third base, but this is the one MaxPax is going to be able to defend, it looks like. Not a lot of stalkers here, though. These Vikings could just straight up turn around and shoot the Colossi. MaxPax is really starting to mine out. I didn't realize how mined out he is. Even his fourth base is in a lot of trouble. He's got this base, and he desperately needs this one. That's why he's long-distance mining from it. Meanwhile, Clem, I mean, he's been stymied so much while mining that I feel like he's got a lot more mining going on. Nova heading up to the high ground. There's another Nova where that came from. The Super Shield Battery turns on as well. Clem deciding to go for it, though. He's going to take down the Colossi over the Super Shield Battery, dodging the Disruptor Novas. And MaxPax, he's really on the back foot here. Not a lot of Novas left. The Vikings could land, but I think Clem wants to keep them alive in case more Colossi show up. Disruptor's not connecting. Without those, I don't know if there's enough here for MaxPax. The Vikings do land, and GG gets called. Clem closes it out. Finally, that game. So intense, so back and forth. MaxPax is ahead, Clem's ahead. A lot of that game, though, was just Clem a little bit behind economically, but with a slightly better army, slightly better trades, just keeping it really consistent. Super scrappy game. Very back and forth. God, you really get to see both players multitasking at its finest in that. And finally, Clem able to just break through enough. Those bases mining out, I think, was a key fact because he wasn't really killing workers, but he killed that base. And suddenly, MaxPax wasn't able to mine efficiently, and it just kind of started dwindling for him. And Clem takes it. GG.